Hello everyone, my name is Rick Riddle. I'm the instructor for this class, Principles of Management, MN201. This is the second summer term class, and it's a 7-week class, right? I just want to, first of all, kind of go over a little bit about how the course is set up here. If you go into the modules, you'll see that there are 7 different modules, and this should be, I believe, your landing page when you come into the class, right? What's important for you in the Get Started section is to please post an introduction as soon as you can. Let me know who you are, what your nickname is, what you do for work, if you have a part-time job or a full-time job as well, where you are in the program, what your degree is, any hobbies you have, any pets, anything like that. That'll help me to get to know you a little bit better. Right? So again, if I go back to the modules over here, you'll see there's a module for every single week. For example, for week number 1, you'll have reading, you have an introduction, you have lecture notes, and you have an assignment and discussion. So each week, week numbers 1 through 7, you're going to have a discussion question and an assignment, right? The discussion question for week number 1, initial post and final post are due by Sunday night. For all other weeks, week 2 through 6, I should say, initial post is due by Wednesday night, and then final post discussion will wrap up on Saturday evening. So no credit for any discussion post after Saturday evening in weeks 2 through 6. In week number 7, your initial post for discussion is due on Wednesday night, and then your follow-ups by Friday night. So week number 7, the final week of the class, actually ends on Friday night. In terms of homework, you have homework every single week. The homework is due on Sunday night. I don't accept late assignments unless there are true extenuating circumstances, and you'll have to let me know what those extenuating circumstances are. Right? The due dates that you see over here are the due dates for the initial post for discussion and the due date for the homework itself. Right? I can't put two due dates on anything in Canvas, so that's why the due date for discussion is only the due date for the initial post. So please watch your calendar and make sure you don't miss anything. If you need to correspond with me, please do so from your Franklin Pierce email account to my Franklin Pierce email account. Please don't send Canvas inbox communication. I won't be responding to Canvas inbox communication. Canvas inbox is not an email program, and I need to sort my emails and keep track of them by student and by class, so I need to use the Franklin Pierce email account. So again, this has to be from your Franklin Pierce email account to my Franklin Pierce email account. Alright, so let's talk again a little bit more about the syllabus itself. So let me go into the syllabus. Note that the textbook for the class is Contemporary Management by Jones and George. It's the 11th edition. It's been used for a couple of years, so you might be able to find a used copy around, or for somebody that you know, for example. Many students have to take this course. This course, I believe, it's a core class for the business program, so most students have to take it. Those recommended top course books, you don't really have to buy those. You don't need those for the class at all, right? In terms of, again, there's seven modules for the class. You're expected basically to read the lecture notes and the introduction for each class, and also every chapter. I expect to see from your discussion post that you've actually read the entire chapter, not just the lecture notes, not just the summary at the end of the chapter. Right? In terms of discussion, I expect you to use good grammar and good spelling. I will take points off for spelling and grammar errors, so please proofread your items carefully before you hit the post. I won't allow you to make changes to your discussion post, so please, again, be sure you proofread. There is a spell check in Canvas, so you go through the spell check and see if you made any errors. Right? So a lot of students make errors by posting too quickly, and that just you kind of lose it when you do that. All right? So you'll lose valuable points if you make errors there. Same thing when you do a homework assignment. I expect you to use good grammar, good sentence structure, and I will take points off for not writing properly. Good writing skills are important for any business major. All right? So you're expected to visit the Canvas site several times a week and accomplish at a minimum the reading assignments, viewing the introduction and lecture notes by Tuesday each week, except week number 1. Complete the weekly assignments by Sunday and the discussion questions by Saturday night during the first 6 weeks. During weeks 2 through 6, and then for week number 1, it's for Sunday night, and then for the final week, it's Friday night. The discussion closes. Alright, so in terms of discussion, please try to research as much as possible your discussion questions and cite any sources that you use in terms of discussion. You should expect to spend more time on each discussion question than the class that you have 2 discussion questions in a week, because there's only 1 question for each week for this class. We also have a small class, so please try to post early and post a complete initial post so everybody can read it and understand what your post is and appropriately respond. If everybody waits until Wednesday night to post their initial response, then that gives other students less time to respond to your initial post. And some people have, for example, work schedules on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that make it difficult for them to post or do any research to respond to your posts, right? In terms of discussion posts, I look here. It says a maximum of 5 discussion posts, including initial posts for each student. I generally look for 3 to 4 discussion posts from each student, including the initial post for each discussion question. Each post should be substantial. Please don't post "I agree." It just totally, those kind of words, "I agree" or "good post," things like that, those don't add anything to discussion. So anything that you post on the discussion board should add content to the discussion board, right? Be sure that your discussion posts are posted directly into Canvas and not as an attachment. Right? You won't be able to see anybody else's post until you actually post your initial post. Again, you won't be able to edit your post once you actually hit the post button. Each discussion post is worth 100 points, 50 points for the initial response, and 50 points for student engagement with other students. So that means if all you do is post the initial response, then the best you're going to get is 50 out of 100 points, right? You're expected to incorporate text terms and context into each week's discussion. Show me that you've done the reading and that you can apply the concepts. It's very, very important. That's going to be important for you to get a high grade. Note that generally speaking, I don't give 100 points for discussion. I generally give a 96 as being the best that you can get. One student a week, for example, might get 100 points, but most students, in terms of the best they're going to get any 1 week for discussion, is a 96, which is a very, very strong A, so that won't hurt your grade at all. Where appropriate, incorporate outside sources into your discussion post and cite those sources properly. In terms of a module assignment, module assignments are due again by Sunday night every week. Those should be well written. If they relate to a problem in the textbook and there are multiple parts, I need you to actually label each individual part. If I can't determine easily what you're responding to in terms of the homework, I will return it to you without a grade on it, with no credit given, and ask you to rewrite it, and you will lose points for it being late. All right, so please label each discussion question, each homework question or homework part, I should say, with the what it is. If there's only 1 question, then that's fine. You don't have to label it. But if there are multiple parts, then I need for you to label each individual part, preferably rewriting or summarizing what the question is, and then responding to that. All right. The same thing applies to discussion. If there are multiple parts to a discussion question, I expect you to label each different section and then to respond appropriately to it. I will try to keep very active in the discussion board, again, because we have only a very small class. So to make it meaningful for everybody, I will try to respond as much as I possibly can in terms of discussion. I'll be logging into the site probably every single day and probably checking email on a daily basis. If you email me, I'll generally respond to you within 24 hours, usually less than that. If you email me late in the evening, you won't receive a response from me until the following day. I generally don't check email after like 6 p.m. in the evening, right? And same thing with Canvas. I probably won't log into Canvas after 6 o'clock at night. In terms of homework, I don't review homework submissions in advance. So if you have a homework question about how you should do it, just do your best and submit it, and we'll go from there. If you have specific questions, you can email me the questions, but I won't respond. I won't actually review the homework assignment, or won't review your homework submission in advance, because that would put you on a different footing than anybody else in the class. So again, cite material from all sources. Plagiarism will result in an F proofread before submitting the work. Now, my suggestion, the prior instructor suggested that you read the item, your submission backwards. My suggestion is that you write your homework assignment one day and then submit it the following day. But that requires you to give yourself a couple of days to do the homework. So if the homework is due on Sunday night, that means you have to do it at the latest by Saturday night, review it, and submit it on Sunday. If you say, oh geez, I forgot to, I did it on Saturday, but I forgot to submit it on Sunday, then it's late. I might give you one chance, for example. I might and might not, depending in terms of a late submission for a day submission, because you said you missed it, you forgot to submit it. But generally, my policy is that I don't accept late homework. So please be appropriate in terms of that is concerned. And I also won't allow you more than one exception in terms of being late for homework unless you're truly ill or something to that nature. Note that having computer problems, basically, that's really not a good excuse for not submitting your homework, anything like that, on time. Especially if you're a student who always submits at the last moment. I won't give you extra time if you have a computer problem. If you're somebody who submits early every single week, early meaning a day early, and you have a computer problem, I'll probably give you an extra couple of days to turn in your homework. So I look at it in terms of what the person's past experience was with the person. If it's week number 1, then I'll probably give you the chance, but I won't give you a chance later on in the term after that. Alright, I hope this has been somewhat helpful to you in terms of what's required for the class. Notice that the syllabus actually shows you what the grading policy is. This is the general undergraduate grading scheme for the program, and that's what we'll be using in this class. Alright, so everyone, I'm so happy to have you in class. I know that I covered a lot of things, and I tend to speak quickly in terms of the video, and actually I've recorded this several times, so I apologize that it's quick and can be hard to follow. Hopefully it's helpful to you. Alright, thank you so much.